Hi, my name is Angel. I thought a lot about the testimony I wanted to share and thought the best place would be to start where Christ really first, God came into my life and showed me who he was. And I was born in Toronto but came out here when I was 6 with my grandparents because my parents had both walked out of my life. And I grew up here from that point on, going to school. And when I was about in the 4th grade, my friends kind of came to me and didn't want to be my friends anymore. I basically kind of wasn't in the cool group for whatever reason, and just started to get teased by other kids and bullied and started having a really hard time. And I didn't grow up in a Christian home. The only time I'd sort of been introduced to Christ was at a Christian camp when I was about 8 years old. And I did accept Christ into my heart. Sounded really good and positive, and I liked that. I just really didn't have any understanding of what that meant or what the Bible was or what living out a life in relationship with God meant. And when I started going through that really hard time of being bullied, it went on for about 3 years. And every day I just cried myself to sleep. I cried at school. I just saw no end. I felt like I was completely forgotten and had no value. So to me at that point, life was just kind of just painful every day. And I just thought if this was life, then I didn't want it. And I was done. And I just wanted it to be over. So I was in the 6th grade at this point, and I decided that I wanted to kill myself. So one day before school, I went to my grandma's cupboard and I got a big, it's like a Costco-sized bottle of Tylenol. And I brought it to school, and in the middle of class, I asked to go to the bathroom and went to my locker and just started taking handfuls of pills of the water fountain. And I just remembered thinking, this is it. This is just, the pain's gonna go away, and I was happy because it was gonna end. And I put the container back in my locker and I went back to class and really quickly started feeling severely sick. And went to my teacher and just was totally pale and just told her I wasn't feeling well, and she could see immediately that I was not well and sent me to the sick room. And on top of having peers and kids that constantly lectured me, my principal just did not understand what I was going through at all, and he would constantly lecture me. And as I lied down in the medical room, he came and was lecturing me about how he thought I was faking, and he just was sitting there lecturing me, and I just remembered thinking that this is it. I'd never had to listen to another lecture. I'd never had to go through this again. I was just happy to be finished with it all. And it wasn't like falling asleep. I blacked out or something. It was like everything just went black, and I had no control of my body at that point. And I literally felt lying on that bed like my soul just dropped from beneath me. And at that point, all I remembered was waking up at home in my own bed. I didn't have any recollection of how I got there. And my grandma had come and picked me up and brought me home, and I slept for 3 days, and I woke up. No one had any idea what I'd done. I never went to the hospital. I never had my stomach pumped, and I woke up completely 100% fine, totally healthy. And I just knew from that experience that there was a God, and that he had purpose for my life, and that he had not forgotten me. He knew who I was, and he loved me. And even though I let go of him, he never let go of me. And I knew that no matter how much pain there was in this life, no matter what I went through, that God was greater than it, and that he had something for me greater than it. He gave me a promise that day that I held on to and have held on to. And it's given me the strength to overcome things in my life that I would still face that were far worse and even more painful. But I made a promise in response to that to God that I would never let go again, and that I would trust him, knowing that he truly would never forsake or leave me.